Hey there! So today's topic is going to be about mindset, and this is one of the a little bit not common topic, but in general, me and Julia felt that we really have to discuss this one as well because in our community we can see it a lot, and so many people are asking about this kind of things, and so that's why we focus this time on the mindset in general, and we talk about three common mindset so-called mistakes. So let's just get started here. So this is one of the gifts that I found in the internet, and this is like a little bit true here. So it's like your camera always makes good photos, but tell me if your stove can make a good dinner as well. So the whole point of this one is obvious, like you just like camera doesn't make any good photos, and the person behind them, behind the camera, always makes photos. So this is like one of the main things that I also like. At some point I was like, oh, now I have a nice camera, I can make photos. I couldn't. I really couldn't make nice photos, even though I had a good camera. It's just like it takes obviously time to learn it, how to make good photos. And in the end of the day, like the gear doesn't make the photos, and you really have to get to know your gear, get to know especially manual mode. And an expensive camera won't shoot great photos, but the person behind the lens does. I know that this might sound like obvious and common sense, but in general, sometimes, yeah, I can still see like this kind of attitude that is like, yeah, or some people ask me like, oh, so you're a photographer, what kind of camera do you have? And this one is like, it's like it a little bit makes me sad because in general, it's like, yeah, it's like the camera is not making good photos, like the person behind them makes the photos in general. And again, so because when I started out with photography, at some point I told myself not to get fancy, and I told myself to at first learn the basics of camera, or and then upgrade my gear in general, because at first especially you have to learn the basics and practice. And for example, with practice, like I obviously was like super lucky and fortunate, because when I was 15 my father gave me a DSLR camera as a gift, but the only condition I could keep the camera was that I had to make 200 photos every single month. So this one was like one of the things that I had to like practice, otherwise I had to like give away the camera. And I actually like really like this kind of approach, because this one like motivated me to practice more, obviously. And then that's why I would say, like, at first, like, learn how to shoot photos with an inexpensive camera, and learn the basics and before you upgrade, because in the end of the day, yeah, the camera doesn't make photos, person behind it makes it. And then another thing that I constantly have questions about this one is copying others and finding inspiration. And then quite often in our community, we have the question as well, like arises once again, is that I feel like I'm copying others, or how do I get inspiration? And with this part, it's like obviously like a super complex topic, and we can't cover everything here. But in the end of the day, I think like in the era of internet and Instagram and Pinterest, it's like, yeah, some say you're copying, but the others are saying it's inspiration. But in the end of the day, like it's like you can't help yourself if you're like sometimes seeing some trends coming up and you go on with the trends. It's like obvious that you might do it. But that's why if you're looking for inspiration, I would highly suggest you to just gather some inspiration from different areas. So again, like you don't have to get all your inspiration in photography. You can, for example, I like to go to the nature. I like to learn from other photography areas. And then this one like basically complements my food photography. And this is just like a little tool tool that can help me big time, because then I don't have like the fear that I'm going to start copying other food photographers. I just try to create my own. And yeah, I generally try to avoid like food photography blogs, and I just in photography, when I want to like learn something new, then I learn like general photography or different parts of photography, not only food photography. And then again, like what you can do is that you can gather inspiration on different photographers. So inspiration boards are like super common in art schools and everything. So it's like what you do is that you, for example, you gather 20 different photos and you get like different details on every part of this one. So again, like this is like not like the thing that you really have to do, but again, like it's just like an option. And at least like you're not copying like one photographer and one photo, you're just gathering inspiration on different boards and creating your own. Another thing that I can see quite often, and I was guilty of doing this one as well in the beginning, is that I never published. And I know that the internet in general can be a wild west and scary, but still, like, take that courage and publish some of the photos. And again, I know that there might be keyboard warriors and everything, like the internet can be a mean place, but again, like, you don't have to have like this kind of negative feedback that's gonna cripple you. Like, you're just doing your own thing, and in the end of the day, if it makes you happy, then just you can just enjoy the process. I know that it might sound like a cliche, but still, in the end of the day, there's a reason like to publish some of the work, because first of all, you never know when you get the award, and secondly, you can learn from your mistake, you can get some feedback, some super useful feedback. And for example, again, you never know when the award might come, because for example, one of the one of the photos that I published, like, I don't know, like years ago. And then one day there popped like into my email box was that someone wanted to buy this work and what some other work as well for their like social media. And then bam, I had like 600 euros in my bank account like straight away. And this, like, those files were just like sitting in my hard drive, but since I have had published them on Instagram or Pinterest or something like that, then like they found it and they needed like exactly that kind of work to their brand as well. So again, you never know when you might get the award. And in the end of the day, like, for example, if you put some of the work in different stock photography websites or something like that, then you can get feedback there, because obviously, like, they don't accept all the photos and you can learn from mistakes. And especially if in the beginning, like, this one was like super useful for me personally. And I managed to learn a lot of things in general. So let's have a little recap here. So again, like, your gear, make sure your gear matches your skills, and hopefully your gear is not like fancier than your skill sets, and you're still humble. I really hope so. I at least try to be like this, but you never know when you might change your mind. But in general, and then, like, go for inspiration boards, and obviously don't become a copycat. Like, we don't need those copycats. Like, you have to create your own in general, because in the end of the day, like, clients come to you because of your unique style or your unique eye that captures like some of the things. And then lastly, publish, and you might get rewards and feedback from your work. And just don't let anyone's negative feedback weigh you down. Thank you for watching. I hope it was useful, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.